Alright y'all, welcome back to another video. Today I am starting off with this Laura Mercier blurring primer. So this is going to basically reduce the look of my pores. And y'all see I got my hooded dryer on, drying my mold because I'm getting ready to go to work. So you guys are going to go through my little quick makeup routine when I'm getting ready for work. Y'all know I work at Twin Peaks, so I have to have full glam, so this is my routine. So once I do that, I'm taking my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I think it's the honey one. I don't have it next to me, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to take that and just go over the primer. I don't normally do that, but I wanted a little extra matteness today, so I went ahead and did that. Probably won't do it that way again because I think I did wind up getting oilier than when I use my calamine lotion and my primer together. So this will not be the permanent way. This was just the way of that day. But everything else was pretty much the same. So then I'm taking my Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I believe, what is my color? Butter Pecan is my color. So I'm putting that on with a brush, and y'all, ever since I discovered how much I like the way my makeup looks when I do brushes, I stopped using them. I stopped using beauty blenders. Yes, I stopped using sponges and beauty blenders and all that stuff, just because I feel like it applies a little bit more like an airbrush look with brushes, and it's also a little less messy too, honestly. So I have 86'd, as they say, the beauty blender in my routines. I don't use it at all anymore. I'll do 100% brushes. So this is me taking the y'all, I cannot talk today. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I think this one is I think these ones in the white are the hydrating ones, and then the black tops are the matte ones. Personally, I don't see a difference for myself between the two. But that could just be from me not paying attention because I've used both. While I'm letting that dry down, because those perform best when they're dried down, you just can't let it sit for too long. But it is my first layer, so while I'm letting that dry, I'm going in with my matchstick from Fenty to contour a little bit. And this, I feel like, works best when you apply it with a brush first and then apply it to your face. And then the color that I have, I don't know if it's too dark for me or if I just didn't blend it the right way, but I was having a little issue with blending it, and it might be because of the brush I used. But overall, I do like it. It's very smooth. It applies really nicely. So I'm just taking my Morphe. It's a small, it looks like a stippling brush almost, but I think it's like a specific, like a brush specific for concealer. So I'm just taking that and I am blending out all of my concealer. I started off with my chin, moved up to my upper lip, and then did my nose and moved out to the eyes just to give the eyes a couple more seconds to set in. So I'm just taking that and just trying to blend it as much as possible without having any harsh lines. So you see I blend starting in the middle and, well, in the corner rather, and working my way out, and then go around the edges. On this side, I'm kind of just going through and going all around, trying to make sure everything is blended nicely, because we're still going to contour and everything, so it doesn't have to be perfect at this point, but I just want to get it as blended as possible, so that way when I blend the contour, everything meshes together. So for the second layer, I'm using this little mini Tarte Shape Tape that I have. I don't remember which color this is. I think it's tan sand or medium tan. It's one of the lighter ones. I don't remember for 100% fact. But yeah, okay, as y'all can see, it didn't blend very well like with this brush, because I wasn't supposed to be using this brush. This is like a fluffy brush for like powder. I was supposed to use a more dense like brush and something a little bit smaller to get a precise blend, but it wound up working nonetheless. So I just said forget it, and I used it because I was kind of in a rush, And for some reason I couldn't find the brush that I normally use, so that's what happened with that. So I'm taking my nose contour and blending it. Then I'm taking this One Size contour palette. I think this one is in the color Deep. I really love this because of the colors in there, they remind me of brick almost. Like the reddish tones in them are so gorgeous, and I love this palette so much, and I'm so glad that I bought it. I got it from Sephora, and I just love the way that it warms your face up. So I use that to set my contour and just blend everything together. And then while that was going, my Tarte was drying down a bit, which made it easier to blend. And you guys know when you do that, it gives you a little bit more coverage. But yeah, so I mixed those two just because I like a bright under eye. I feel like it makes everything pop, and it does give that full glam look. Of course, nothing too bright, but that's what I went ahead and did. And then I'm just setting my nose contour with that same palette. Now I'm going back in with a fluffy brush from Morphe as well. Most of my brushes are from Morphe or Eco Tools. And I am going in and setting everything that I, put concealer on to lock everything in. So I'm going ahead and doing that. And as y'all can see, I am taking that same brush and I'm patting the concealer in. I'm trying to stretch my skin under my eyes so it doesn't crease while I set it. And I'm just making sure that I lightly tap that in at the same time as I'm applying it. So I'm tapping it and patting it at the same time, not swiping it, tapping and patting, so we can really set that. And then I'm doing a reverse contour on the outsides of my nose, and then I did it on my bridge of my nose as well. So I'm taking my e.l.f. setting spray and I'm spraying this e.l.f. soap brow pomade that I got from Walmart, and I like it. It gets my eyebrows nicely together. It's just that it's kind of dry, so you have to activate it. So I just use setting spray to be able to actually get some onto my spoolie, and I just comb my eyebrows up like so. This way is a little bit less messy than the Got To Be glue way. So I've seen people use lash glue too, but I feel like this is a little bit less messy. So yeah, I am doing that. As y'all can see, my eyebrows are giving the feathery look. I don't know, I think I was watching a YouTube video, so if y'all see me looking up, that's what I'm looking at. My TV is mounted right next to my vanity. So I'm taking this little Morphe brow defining pencil, and I'm doing some small hair-like strokes at the front of the brow and filling in a couple of sparse areas that I have, but not filling it in too much. I really have been going for the feathery natural brow. I don't want to fill it in too much. I just like the way my eyebrows look naturally already. And they're already kind of thick, so I really don't have to do much to them. And I've got them arched. Well, not arched. I got them waxed maybe a couple weeks ago, so they're just now starting to grow back in, so they still look decent. I'm taking that same concealer that I used the very first round of concealer to conceal underneath. Actually, this is a different one. I don't know the name. It's one of the darker shades. This one is closer to my skin tone. I was trying to go for a bit of I want to have a carved and, nice sculpted brow, but I didn't want it to be too bright. So I just went ahead in with a natural concealer color that's close to my skin tone and just spread it all over the lid to give us a base, because we are going to put on some shadow, I believe. So I'm taking this 9H Morphe palette, and it has some pink shades, as you guys can see in there, and I do use those for blush. They are very pretty, but they're very pigmented, so you kind of have to be careful because you can apply a lot like I'm doing here in this clip, but that's okay because you can always go back and use your powder brush to get rid of some of that, which is what we're going to do today. So I have this Sephora Micro Smooth Baking Powder, and I love this powder so much. This is my foundation shade, but it basically tones down my concealer, well, the spots that I use concealer, or the spots that I bake in, actually. So it just kind of tones everything down, and I use it to mesh everything together. And you probably can't really tell on camera, but it gives you a very airbrushed finish. I'm actually running low, so I'm trying to like scrape it to pick up product, but I've had it for a very long time, so they definitely last. Then I'm taking this Juvia's Place palette, and I don't remember which color it was, but it was one of the brown colors in this palette, and I'm just using that as a overall lid shade. I typically go for browns. I have so many makeup palettes, y'all, and I don't even use them. I have to start doing more looks with color. But for my everyday look, which is usually what I do for work, I do just mostly do like neutral colors and browns. So yeah. This little handy dandy doodad right here I got from the dollar store, and it's actually a applicator for masks. So like if like for your face, so you use it as like a spatula for that. But I decided to use it because I've seen a lot of artists use these types of devices or tools to keep shadow and things like that from getting in their lashes, their clients' lash extensions. So basically I seen that and I was like, hey, I can use it for the same thing. So y'all just see me using a spoolie to brush out my extensions, and I used the white shade in that Juvia's Place palette to go over my lid. And I also went in my waterline and took some black and smudged it out with some brown as well. And now I'm taking this beauty supply store liner. Y'all know my same lip combo. Doing that, overdraw my lips, all that good stuff. Then I'm setting my face with my Morphe spray, which is the Golded spray. Been using it for years. Taking my little beauty supply liquid liner and doing my beauty marks. And then going in with my Jaclyn Hill loose highlighter. And, you know, putting a little bit of that on my nose because that's really the only place I highlight now. And then this Huda Beauty double-sided mascara that I got from Sephora as well to do my bottom lashes. And we are looking good. So at this point my hair was pretty much dry, so I took off my little hood on my head and went ahead and applied my e.l.f. lip plumping gloss. I think this is one of this pink Cosmo that I put on, can't really remember. Then I'm taking those wrap strips off and I'm just applying this back to my head. I wound up taking it off and using a blow dryer to get it done faster. But I did everything else off camera because I'm going to show you guys a video later. But this is the finished look for me to go to work. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys come back for another one. Bye-bye.